60-day amortization of loan payment included on the newly signed Bayanihan to Recover as One Act. September 1, President Rodrigo Duterte has signed into law the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act, which provides for a 165.5 billion pesos fund for pandemic response and recovery. Senator Christopher Bongo announced the signing on Friday. The measure was ratified on the Senate on August 20, followed by the House of Representatives a week later as the country grapples with the coronavirus disease. The stimulus plan consists of 140 billion pesos worth of regular appropriations and additional standby fund of 25.5 billion pesos. The Department of Health will receive 3 billion pesos for additional face masks, personal protective equipment, shoe covers, and face shields, alongside 13.5 billion pesos for emergency employment and compensation of health workers. The law also set aside 4.5 billion pesos for the construction of temporary isolation and quarantine facilities, as well as the expansion of existing public hospitals. Some 4.5 billion pesos is also allotted for the Department of National Defense to cover expenses in isolating and treating returning overseas Filipino workers who test positive for COVID-19. A separate 820 million pesos fund is given to the Department of Foreign Affairs for repatriation efforts. Another 13 billion pesos will be used to aid displaced workers through cash for work and other forms of assistance, while 6 billion pesos will be given to the Department of Social Welfare and Development for cash assistance in areas under lockdown. A total of 5 billion pesos will be used to hire and train some 50,000 contact tracers. A 10 billion pesos fund will be on standby for COVID-19 testing and purchase of COVID-19 medicines and vaccines once they become available. The measure also provides the following subsidies to other sectors: 39.472 billion pesos as a capital infusion to government banks to allow them to extend more loans, especially to small firms; 24 billion pesos as assistance to farmers and the Plant initiative of the Department of Agriculture; a 9.5 billion pesos for the Department of Transportation to assist businesses critically affected by the pandemic; and 4.1 billion pesos for the tourism industry, which includes 100 million pesos for the training and subsidies to tour guides; 4 billion pesos to the Department of Education for the implementation of blended learning; and 3 billion pesos for the development of smart campuses across the country. A 2 billion peso subsidy for the payment of interest on local government loans from state-run banks, and 1.5 billion pesos assistance to local government units. 1 billion pesos for TESDA scholarships, a 600 million pesos as subsidies and allowances for students severely impacted by the pandemic, and a 300 million pesos as subsidies and allowances to teaching and non-teaching personnel and part-time faculty in state universities and colleges; a 180 million pesos as allowances for national athletes and coaches; and 15 million pesos for UP Diliman's Computational Research Laboratory; a 10 million research fund of the Health Technology Assessment Council, and 2.5 million pesos for the computer-based licensure of the Philippine Red Cross. The Bayanihan 2 Act requires the President to submit a report to Congress monthly until the end of the year, a departure from the old requirement of a weekly formal report under the first measure or the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act.